exponential Fourier series. Now, what's the difference between trigonometric Fourier series and exponential Fourier series? The set of functions that we consider in the orthogonal set, they are different. So earlier we had this set 1 cos n omega 0 t sin n omega 0 t. This was basically trigonometric. Okay, trigonometric Fourier series. Now we can express trigonometric function in terms of exponential functions such as e raised to j n omega 0 t. Now there is one difference. In the first case, n is basically varying like 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. There are infinite number of functions, infinite number of cosine functions, infinite number of sine functions, but n actually takes values only from 1, 2, 3 up to infinity, whereas here n takes value from minus infinity, it's minus 1, 0, 1 to up to plus infinity. That means all integer value including 0. So here only positive integer. So that these are the differences. Okay, so again you can see fundamental frequency when n equal to 1, constant when n equal to 0, e raised to 0 is 1. So 1 is already there, and if you look at e raised to j omega 0 t, so that you can say it is 1 plus cos omega 0 t plus j sin omega 0 t. So both of these functions are there with some additional quantity which is square root of minus 1 or j, imaginary value, in order to keep the cos and sin separately. Okay, so this is our set for right hand side is the set for exponential Fourier series. Now we can show all that we did earlier. So first of all, test for orthogonality. Test for orthogonality. That means you take any function in the set, any two function in the set, say e raised to j n omega 0 t and e raised to j m omega 0 t. So what will happen? We have to check whether this is going to give us the power pi if n is equal to m, otherwise it should give us 0. Or in other words, I can say pi, or p, I should say n, because I am using n here, pn pn delta nm. Is this clear? This is what we need to test. Let me know whether orthogonality condition is clear to you. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay. So now let's so in order to show that these signals are orthogonal, we need to show this. Okay, that is when n is not equal to, okay, I have written here not correctly, n not equal to okay, so if n is not equal to m, let us take the case and show that irrespective of any value of m and n, it is going to be 0. So LHS is basically integral So 1 by t, that is a period, and then t going from 0 to capital T. First function e raised to j n omega 0 t into conjugate. Now you have to take conjugate because it's complex function, e raised to minus j m omega 0 t dt. Okay, that is the definition of inner product. Again, I can do omega naught by 2 pi, then integral 0 to 2 pi by omega naught. I can combine this exponential and write it as j n minus m omega naught t dt. So this is equal to omega naught by 2 pi. So integral of this is what? Yes, integral of exponential is the same function. That is the one of the simplest integral we can do, and this has to be divided by n minus m omega naught 0 to 2 pi by omega naught. So omega naught by 2 pi, okay, I can write n minus m omega naught into, so let us substitute e raised to j n minus m omega naught into this, so it will give you 2 pi minus e raised to 0. So they cancel. Now what is the upper limit? N minus m is an integer. It may be a positive integer, it may be a negative integer, depends on the value, but n is not equal to m, but it will be definitely an integer. So you can write this as cos n minus m 2 pi plus j sin 2 pi n minus 1 2 pi, and sin integer multiple of 2 pi is 0, cos integer multiple of 2 pi is 1. So this is 1. So it is 1 minus 1. So this is 1 by 2 pi into n minus m into 1 minus 1. This is 0. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this set, that's all I need to check, right? For orthogonality, this is all I need to check. When n is not equal to m, the inner product should give me 0. And if you want the power to be calculated, then I have to take n equal to m case. So let me just specify here, we are considering n not equal to m. Now I am going to take n equal to m. N equal to m case is even simpler. That is e raised to j n omega 0 t, inner product with e raised to n j omega 0 t is equal to 1 by t integral 0 to t first function n omega j n omega 0 t into conjugate of the second raised to minus j n omega 0 t dt. So any complex number multiplied with its conjugate will give you modulus square. And what is the modulus square of this? It is e raised to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is 1. So which means that I can write it as integral of dt is t 0 to t, which is what? 1. So the energy of the function is 1. So all the functions in this exponential Fourier series orthogonal set has not energy, power equal to 1. Okay, and this is a very special case, so you can even write this like this, simply delta mn, because this is 1. In this particular case, this is 1. So power is 1. So such cases are called orthonormal set of functions. Okay, not only orthogonality is satisfied, but the power is unity, so it is normalized also. Therefore the set of function e raised to j n omega 0 t, where n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc., forms an orthonormal set. Okay, this is in addition to orthogonality. If the power of all the signals are unity, then we say orthonormal set. If it is only orthogonality and the power is if it is not unity, if it is some other value, just like in the case of trigonometric Fourier series, we had half for all the cosine and sine functions. The power was not unity, so they don't form an orthonormal set, but they form orthogonal set. So there is a advantage for orthogonal set, and the advantage is that when you expand the function, the best coefficient that we can assign, that formula will also get simplified, because the denominator is power of the signal, and if the power is unity, we don't have anything to divide by. So now coming back to our problem. So question, expand, or you can also say approximate a given function in terms of the exponential Fourier series orthogonal set. How can we do this? So what we do is, let the approximate function is written as sigma Cn e raised to Jn omega 0 t, where n goes from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, just like before. Then the best value of Cn is given by what? Our main formula is f of t. Okay, approximate a given function, say f of t. And also let's say periodic. So these are good for periodic function. F of t comma e raised to Jn omega 0 t. Actually in the formula we have this e raised to Jn omega 0 t comma e raised to Jn omega 0 t, but we know that it is 1, so we can just drop it and write it is only this. So if the function is not only orthogonal but it is also normalized, then the formula gets simpler. Okay, we have only this because the denominator is 1. That's the meaning of normalized function or orthonormal set. When we derived this formula, we did not consider normalized function. We kept it more generic. It could be normalized or it need not be normalized, but they are orthogonal. That is the only restriction we put. But if it is also normalized, like in this case, that's a even better situation where our formula get much simplified. So that is this coefficient Cn in this expansion can be written as 1 by t, that is I am just expanding this inner product definition. This is one way of writing the limit. So that means I can take either 0 to t or minus t by 2 to plus t by 2, whatever way. First function into conjugate of the second minus, okay, n omega 0 t dt. So this is what it reduces to, the formula reduces to this, and there is only one coefficient, Cn, and depending upon n value you will get all the cases. Is it clear so far? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's take up problems. Okay, so we have derived many things, but let us apply it. Problems. So let's start with a simple problem. We are given a periodic signal like this. Okay, this is a periodic signal, it continues forever. I am only drawing a few of the cycles. Let's say this is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say this is A. So this is the signal given to us. This is our f of t. Okay, this is our f of t. So whatever you see in one period, so this is the period, this is our period. Whatever you see in one period, it gets repeated to the left and right. So that's why it's a periodic signal. So a periodic signal is a power signal, and you can, so question is basically find or expand or approximate. Question is approximate f of t in terms of, number 1, trigonometric Fourier series, and number 2, the first part of the problem is trigonometric Fourier series expansion. Second is exponential okay. So this is the problem. So all you need to find out is basically the constants. All such problem, all you need to find out is the constant. Okay, so number 1, you need to find out what is a period. So what is a period? T is 2. T is 2. Omega naught is 2 pi by 2, which is equal to 5. Okay, this information that we require. So let us look at part 1. So how will you approximate the function fa of t? So this is our f of t. Okay. Now when you approximate it in terms of the trigonometric Fourier series, we will have an a0. Then we will have sigma an cos n omega 0 t, where n goes from 1 to infinity. Then plus bn sin n omega 0 t. So the question is, what is this? The components are known to us. Components are known to us, but we don't know the coefficients. So So when you want to approximate it, you have to find the best coefficient value a0, an, bn, and then substitute it. The problem is done. So this square wave, periodic square wave, we are going to write a function that means sum of infinite functions, sines and cosines and constants, and when you add them up all, we will get a function which is a best approximation of this square wave. That is what our theory says. So what value of coefficient if you give, when you add them up, you will get almost the function look like this. Okay, so let us find it out. So a naught, the formula is, either you can use this one, but we have already done that and derived what we will get out of it. F of t comma 1 divided by 1 comma 1. Okay. And when we did this, we got it as 1 by t integral say 0 to t f of t dt. The denominator here is, it was 1, right? So this was 1. The numerator is just the inner product of f of t and 1. So t value we have said it is 2. So 1 by 2 integral, if you look at f of t over 0 to 2, okay, I need to integrate from 0 to 2, but if you look at the function is equal to a constant a from 0 to 1, this, and then it is 0 after that. So I can say, divide it as 0 to 1, it is a dt, and then I have 1 to 2, it is 0 dt. So integral of dt is t, and when you put the limit, you will get a by 2. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Contribution is only from the first integral. Second integral is 0. First integral is a into integral dt, which is t. When you put upper limit, it is 1 minus 0. A into 1 minus 0, which is a. So it is a by 2. We got one constant, so which I can put it now here. Now let's evaluate the next constant. So that is f of t cos n omega 0 t divided by, you remember it was half, right? The power of cosine function was half. So you can write it as 2 by t integral 0 to 2 is the actual limit, but we know that the function is 0 beyond 1. So it is effectively 0 to 1, where it is a into cos n omega 0 t dt. So t is also known to us, so you can substitute t as 2. So this 2 goes here, and this 2 is t. So it is basically a into integral of cos n omega 0 t is what? Okay, I can substitute for omega naught also, it is pi. let me write few more steps so that it will be more clear. So this is a into integral 0 to 1 cos n pi t, which is a into integral of cos is sin n pi t divided by n pi limit 0 to 1. Okay. So now when you put the upper limit t equal to 1, so it is sin n pi. What is the value of sin n pi?
So 0.
0. And sin 0?
0.
0. So this is going to be equal to 0. What does that mean? Better not take any cosine function in the expansion. If you take cosine function, you are going to make it worse. It won't be a good approximation. So we should not take any cosine function in this expansion. So now, so we got all a and e 0. That means the middle summation will be absent in the expansion. Now let us take Bn. Let us evaluate Bn. Bn is f of t inner product with sin n omega 0 t divided by half, not minus half, half. That was the power. Now the definition of inner product is 1 by t, and t is 2, and divided by, so this half is still there, integral 0 to 2 actually, but I will only do up to 1 because from 1 to 2 it is 0, f of t is 0, so it is a into sin n omega 0 t dt. So half half cancel, a into integral 0 to 1 sin, and omega naught is pi, n pi t dt. Alright, so now let's integrate. Integral of sin is, we will get minus cosine. So cos n pi t divided by n pi with the limit 0 and 1, which is equal to minus a by n pi. I put t equal to 1, so I will get cos n pi minus cos 0. Cos 0 is 1, so I can put it as like this. Now what is cos n pi? Or I can write it as 1 minus okay, what is cos n pi? Let me know.
So minus 1 to the power n.
Minus 1 to the raised to. So I can write it as 1 minus minus 1 raised to n. So that way I can absorb the minus a by n pi. So let us substitute values for different values of n. How does it look like? Or first let us write so when n is equal to odd, it is 1 minus 1. So this you can also write it as 0 for n even and a by n pi for 2 1 minus minus 1, right? So it will be 2a by n pi when n is odd. Clear? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we got all the constants. So if you put in the part 1 problem is solved. So we got so therefore a naught we obtained as a by 2, a n we obtained as 0, b n we obtained as this one. So how yeah, bn is equal to 2a by n pi only when n is odd. So this is the, therefore the approximate function, the best approximation, you can't make it any better than this, is a by 2 into 1, the first coefficient into first function, plus sigma n is from 1 to infinity a0 an which is 0 cos n omega 0 t, but I know the value of omega naught is it is pi, so pi t plus sigma n is from 1 to infinity okay, so there is a catch here. This is only applicable for, so let me say 1 3 5 etc. Other cases it is 0 into sin n pi t. Okay, so this is entirely 0, this is entirely 0 because the coefficient is 0, so that is equal to a by 2 plus 2a by pi 2a by pi sin, when n equal to 1 I will get sin pi t, plus when n is equal to 3 I will get sin, okay, sin pi t by 1, then there is n here also, sin 3 pi t by 3 plus sin 5 pi t by 5 plus etc. So this is the approximation. This is the best approximation. Now to see whether is it a good approximation or not, we have to basically plot it. Okay, so we have to take different components and then plot it. So maybe I will in the next class show you some Python programs which I have written where these functions are added up, and then when you add up only the first few terms, then how does it look like, and what happens when you increase the number of terms in the expression. But so that's basically the best approximation. So now let's look at part 2. Now part 2 we can apply a trick, and the trick is Fourier series, whether it is trigonometric or exponential, they are basically equivalent. You can go from one to the other, and the way to go from one to the other, so here we have this function is a constant. So this I can write it as e raised to j0 pi t. Omega naught is pi, and then plus 2a by pi sin pi t. I can write it as e raised to j pi t minus e raised to minus j pi t by 2j. I can expand sin pi t like this. Similarly, I can expand the next term, e raised to j 3 pi t minus e raised to minus j 3 pi t divided by 2j, and I can continue like this. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to just rearrange these. So for example, let me take the coefficient of e raised to j minus 3 pi t, this one. So there is a minus sign there. There is a j here. Okay, there is one more thing. There is 1 into this, and then 3 into this. That is also there. So if you can collect all the terms corresponding to e raised to, so let me just do that. So there is a 2a by pi, 2a by pi, and then apart from that I have minus 1 by 6j. So that is multiplied with e raised to minus j 3 pi t. Next one I would like to collect, there is no 2 pi t, so that is 0 into because of even multiples of pi and omega naught I don't have any, so this is e raised to minus j 2 pi t. Then comes the minus 1, so that also I can write 2a by pi into minus 1 by 2j into e raised to minus j pi t. Then comes the n equal to 0, where I have a by 2 into e raised to j 0 pi t. Then it goes to the positive side, so I can expand it like a series. So there are a lot of term here, so there is a lot of term here which goes to minus infinity, and then on the positive side also similar thing happens. So plus j pi, if I look at the coefficients, that is 2a by pi into 1 by 2j e raised to j pi t. Then plus next one is 0 to pi t. Then next one is 2a by pi into 1 by 6j e raised to j3 pi t plus etc. So this continues to plus infinity. So this goes to plus infinity, this goes to minus infinity. So that is the trigonometric expansion, but we can use the formula that we derived also to find it out. And we can maybe simplify this a little bit more. So this plus here, if you look at so it will become a by 3 pi. So I can write it as 1 by j is minus 1. So j a by 3 pi e raised to minus j 3 pi t, then plus 0 into e raised to minus j 2 pi t plus, and similarly here j a by pi e raised to minus j pi t plus this is a by 2 e raised to j0 pi t plus, then 2 cancel. I'll get minus j a by pi e raised to plus j pi t plus okay, 0 e raised to j2 pi t plus the last term is basically the complex conjugate of the minus side. So that is minus j a by 3 pi e raised to j 3 pi t plus etc. So now let's verify whether this is what we will get. So this is just a transformation that we did. We got the trigonometric Fourier series, and then we did a expansion of sine and cosine terms in terms of the exponential functions. We expressed with them, and then we grouped the terms such that it will look like the exponential Fourier series. So now let us directly find it out and see whether we will get the same thing. Okay. So for finding part 2, alternate method, is we have the approximate function equal to Cn, where n goes from minus infinity to plus infinity, e raised to jn omega 0 t, where omega 0 is pi. Okay, so where Cn is found out by the formula that we derived. If you forget, we can always derive it, f of t into e raised to jn omega 0 t. They are orthogonal, so it will be only this much. So this is 1 by t integral say 0 to, the period is basically 2 in our case, or let me first write the formula generically, 0 to t f of t into e raised to minus jn omega 0 t. So this is what we need to find out. So 1 by 2 integral 0 to 2 I don't need to do, I only need to do up to 1, because f of t is a till then and a 0 afterwards, and then e raised to minus jn pi t dt. Okay, so a by 2. If I integrate this, it will be minus j n pi t divided by minus j n pi, 0 to 1. So that is equal to a by so j I can take it maybe into the numerator. So minus j, when it goes to the numerator, it will become plus j, and then I will have 2n pi, and then if I apply the limit, it is e raised to minus jn pi minus e raised to 0, that is 1. So this is what we will get. Now what is this? If n is equal to even, e raised to minus jn pi is going to become 1 and it is equal to 0. So this is equal to 0 when n okay, there is one problem. That problem is, when n is equal to 0, what will happen is there is a division by 0. Numerator is 0, denominator is 0. So this formula is valid only for n not equal to 0. So I have to say that first. So where n not equal to 0. So n equal to 0 case we have not found out, which we need to find out. So C0 we need to find out, which is f of t comma 1, because when I put 0 there, it will be this. So this we have already found out in trigonometric Fourier series, and we got it as a by 2. Same expression. So now we got all the cases. So this is for n equal to 0 case, and n not equal to 0 case, it is j a by 2n pi into 2 if n is odd, okay, like 1, 3, 5, etc., or plus or minus. Here they can be plus or minus. Okay, so now let us expand using this coefficient. So therefore fa of t, so as before, let us leave some of the terms and start from n equal to minus 3. So ja, so this 2 will cancel, so I will get minus j a by, so minus 3, if I put n equal to minus 3, so that will be, so this minus is coming like this, so 3 pi I think I missed one minus sign. So there is a minus sign here. This minus sign should remain here. Yeah, so there will be a, so For n is equal to, odd, it will be minus 1, so minus it will cancel. Yeah, so ultimately it will be 1 minus, I can absorb that. Yeah, so it should be ja by, okay, minus 3 pi e raised to, so this is the coefficient for e raised to minus j 3 pi. So we are doing this expansion, okay, substitute the value and then put the corresponding function, multiplying with the corresponding function. So when n is equal to minus 3, it will be e raised to minus j 3 pi t, because omega 0 is pi. And Cn value comes from this formula, Ja by okay. I think again I went wrong. So this will be like this, because I took minus j upward and it became plus j. Now here it will become minus. It will become minus 2. This quantity will become minus 2 when n is odd. So there is already a minus sign there. So that will make it plus. Okay, so that is correct now. Then plus n equal to minus 2, we don't have any value. So that will be 0 e raised to minus j 2 pi, then plus next value, you put n equal to minus 1, so this minus minus will cancel, okay, 2 will cancel here, but minus sign will remain. So this will be ja by pi into e raised to minus j pi plus then comes the C0 we got it as a by 2 into e raised to 0 plus, then we have n equal to 1, so that will be minus ja by pi e raised to j pi, then 0 e raised to minus not plus j 2 pi, then plus n equal to 3, it will be minus ja by 3 pi into e raised to plus j 3 pi plus etc. So this is what we will get by direct method. Now if you compare the two, one is by using transformation from the trigonometric, and you can see that the coefficients are exactly the same. So we have here ja by 3 pi, and we have here ja by 3 pi, and then for minus 1 we have ja by pi, so same thing here, and for plus 1, it will be just a conjugate of this. Okay, so this is basically conjugate of this, and again this is basically conjugate of that. So same thing you can notice here also, they have a conjugate relationship. So the only difference is like a minus will come. Here it is ja by minus ja by n pi. So if n is negative, it will be minus. If it is positive, it will be plus. So that is basically the solution to the problem. So there are multiple ways you can If you derive one, since it is related to the other, you can do transformation, or you can use the direct formulas and derive it. All right, so if there is any question you can ask, otherwise we will stop here. Any questions? You need to know integration quite well for the rest of the course.
Sir,
Yes.
actually, when we got the trigonometric expansions of this,
Yeah.
so then for part 2, sir,
Hmm.
so why did we expand in such a long way, sir, for this?
What I showed here is I did I mean, this is a method we can, if already the trigonometric Fourier series is available to you, then you can transform that to exponential Fourier series. That is what I was showing you through this problem, because you can express sine function in terms of exponential function. So I just used that formula. Sine pi t is e raised to j pi t minus e raised to minus j pi t divided by 2j. So that transformation if you do, and then you collect all the terms of different powers of exponential, you get actually what you get from the direct method. So I just wanted to show you, you can do it in either way, there is no issue.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the simple answer to your question is that these functions are connected. They are not, they are both called Fourier series for that reason. Okay, one is trigonometric Fourier series and the other is exponential Fourier series. So, but both are Fourier series because these orthogonal set of functions. So these functions are connected. Yeah, the set is very related.
Yes, sir.
You can go from this to that also. From if you derive exponential, you can go to trigonometric also. All you need to do is express the exponential function in terms of cos theta plus j sin theta. That formula you have to use, and you can go back also.
But then can we call it as Fourier transform?
No. These are Fourier series because you see it depends on what is in the set. Fourier transform is basically a limit of Fourier series, you can think about in that way, where your omega naught becomes so small that this set will become a continuous set. Okay, if you make your omega naught, the fundamental frequency is so small, then in principle all the frequency will be present, not just a discrete frequency. Right now the set contain only discrete frequencies, omega naught, after that 2 omega naught, then 3 omega naught, nothing in between. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now you will see, if you plot, then you can see that this is a very good approximation of periodic signal, almost exact. Whatever I have expanded here, no, this expansion here, you just add up all these functions, the resulting function will look very much like the function that we started with. So maybe I should draw a rough sketch here, what to expect as you make more and more terms. So we had the original function. Let me first draw that. The original function is like this. So this was A and this was 1, like this. This was our original function, 2, 3, like this. But now if I so this was our t. If I draw this function, the way it will look like is maybe I should draw it with a different color. Depending upon how many term you take, this will look like this. This is what you will get. So it will tend to become a very good approximation in the limit we take infinite number. Same is the case with exponential series also. If you do all this summing up, it will become more and more exact as you take more and more terms. So here I have, if you take like 2-3 terms here in this, it's basically an infinite series, right? There are infinite number of odd terms. But if you take, in computer we can only do with finite number of terms. So if you take like 3-4 terms, you will get something like this. But as you increase this number of terms here in this bracket, it will begin to look more and more like the actual original function. So this blue is our approximation fa of t, and the green is our original f of t. So f of t is getting approximated in terms of in terms of this orthogonal set of trigonometric functions. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.